Hi, hello. Welcome to another Done Design webinar. We will be showing today how we do the STL Edition in Done Design. So we will be looking at model orientation, the smoothing tool, mesh removal, base cut, and gum extrusion, and some other useful tools that we will need for the preparation of the STL files before starting the treatment plan. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. Remember, we have the questions and answers. If you have any questions, we can just, I will answer them at the end of the webinar. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, perfect. So once we've created our treatment plan, we just go to the first step, which would be STL Edition. So this is the case we are going to be working on. As you see, it is a completely raw file. So we are going to go ahead and begin the STL Edition. So first thing we need to do is the orientation of the models. This is very important for the AI to work correctly. We have to orient the models with the midline and the occlusal plane. Okay, if we don't orient them correctly, that can affect the AI, the teeth segmentation, and so on. If we wanted to modify the occlusion because we believe the occlusion is not correct, we can select either upper arch or lower arch, and we can modify the occlusion as we want. Okay, in this case, I will not be modifying because this is the correct occlusion of the patient. So after we have orientated our models, let's go ahead and I will show you the smoothing tool. If I wanted to smooth out any part of the mesh by clicking on Shift and changing brush diameter, I can smooth out. For example, if I don't want that much retention on my aligners, I can smooth out, okay, the union between my crown and gum. Okay, anything I wanted to smooth out, I can do. Okay, if we have, for example, leftover composite from attachments, we can also smooth that out. Okay, so this would be the smoothing tool. Once we're done, we just go ahead and use another tool. So before the gum extrusion, I want to clean my mesh a bit, okay, especially in the third molar area. So I'm going to go ahead and use the mesh removal tool. Great, so let's start with upper. I'm going to increase the diameter of my brush, and by pressing on Shift, I can start selecting the area I want to remove. I usually select a big part of the edges and then I erase the parts I do not want to remove. So for example, I think here is fine, and then like this. Good. So now with Shift, you select, you paint, and with Control, you erase your selection. So I'm going to erase this because I want this part of the mesh to appear. Okay, great. Let's erase this. Okay, great. Good. Let's go ahead and erase the selection. You can either go carefully and just select the area you want so you don't have to erase after, but for me it's faster this way. Okay, so these are the parts of my mesh that I want to remove. Let's go ahead and do the lower arch. Okay, but here we don't have a lot to remove, so I will just do this part. It's a pretty clean STL file if I wanted to. Yeah, I think that's enough. So we have both. We have our selection. We have the parts of the mesh that we want to remove. So let's go ahead and click on remove. It will automatically remove the parts that you have selected. If by any chance I have any floating particles around any leftover mesh that wasn't deleted, I can just go ahead and use the remove floating regions, and the AI will detect any floating particles and remove them, okay, from the models. Okay, so we can have a clean model. So now I'm going to go ahead and do gum extrusion. I'm going to start with the lower arch. So we have a red plane and a green plane. The red plane is where we're going to cut the model, and the green plane is the height we are going to give it. So I'm going to change my plane just like that. And I'm going to cut my model lower. There we go. Great. And now I'm going to give it some extrusion, some height. Before that, I want to select that I don't want a hollow interior because I want a solid one. So let's go ahead and give it some height. Perfect. I think this is good. So let's go ahead and click on compute extrusion. Great. Let's see how this looks. Amazing. Good. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do the upper arch. Okay, I think this is good enough. This is where I want to cut my model. Maybe a bit lower. Okay, I don't really mind the third molars because I will be doing a virtual extraction of them. So I think this is where I want to cut my model, and I'm going to go ahead and give it some gum extrusion, some height. Okay, that's where I want it. Let's do extrusion. And there we have it. Amazing. If I also wanted to modify any part of the mesh by adding, inflating, or deflating, I have the inflate and deflate option also. So let's go ahead and go on to teeth segmentation. Okay, this is part of the preparation of the models before starting the treatment plan. So once the models load, we go on to the teeth segmentation step, where we will have the automatic segmentation, and then we can adjust manually anything we need to adjust. So let's click on automatic detection. We wait a few seconds. It usually takes maximum 10 seconds per arch, even less. It's pretty quick and pretty accurate segmentation. Let's wait for the lower arch to load. And then we can go ahead and adjust manually. Okay, perfect, perfect. We have to adjust some things. So let's go ahead and select number 13. And I can change my brush diameter, and by pressing Shift, I can color in the parts that I'm missing. If I want to erase something, I can do that also. For example, here. Great. Perfect. Okay, now I need to color in my third molars. These weren't recognized, but no problem. I just quickly color them in. And if I want to erase anything, by pressing Ctrl, I erase, and by pressing Shift, I paint. So I think this is good enough. Okay, if I'm overlapping with the other tooth, then I can just fix that. Okay, great. Let's go on with this one. Each tooth has its own color, okay, for to identify each one. So we just have to be careful with the colors we use because each tooth has a designated color. Great. Okay, it's overlapping here a bit. If I wanted to smooth out, oops, my brush diameter, I can definitely do that. Okay, this is good. This is great. Let's look at the lower arch. Okay, lower arch is perfect. Let me just fill this in. As you can see, it is very precise segmentation. So I have upper and lower. I have everything correct. Maybe here I will fill this in a bit. Okay, good. Great. So now let's go ahead to the final step of preparation. Once I have done my teeth segmentation, I go on to axes and roots. This is a very important step for the movements to be done correctly. Okay, if I upload a CBCT, this step is not necessary, but since I didn't upload a CBCT and I want to calculate the roots with AI, I just click on Calculate Automatically. And once that is done, I can then adjust manually anything I want to adjust. So a quick tip here, I always go ahead and check the occlusal view first, okay, just to make sure that the axes are centered. We have to always make sure that the blue arrow is facing lingual, okay? If it's facing another part, if it's facing mesial or the distal side, or it's completely 360 degrees, we need to, sorry, 180, we need to correct that, okay? Blue arrow always needs to be facing lingual. Okay, great, that looks good, just making sure. Okay, now we can go ahead and go on other views and fix any little detail we like to fix. Okay, good. This one. Perfect. This one. Okay. This one is fine. This one is also good. Great. Okay, rest looks good. Let's go on with the lower arch. Also do the same thing, okay? We check the occlusal view first. Make sure all our blue arrow is facing lingual. Especially when we have crowding, it is best to check the positioning of the multiplane. Great, good. It barely needs any adjustment, but it's always good to check. For example, here. But as I said, this step is not necessary if you upload the CBCT because the real roots would be integrated in the viewer. Okay, great, good. Okay, also fix this. Okay, I think the rest is good. Rest is great. So once we have upper and lower and we are happy with what we see, we would this is the final step of preparation. So once we have all our roots well oriented, we just go ahead and click on the next step, which would be our treatment plan. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we are ready for treatment plan, but this will be in another webinar. We will be planning some very nice cases. But for now, this is what I wanted to show you, okay? So we've seen the STL load, the STL edition, the teeth segmentation, and axes and roots. So those would be the steps required for beginning the treatment plan. So if you have any questions, I will be answering them in the questions and answers. And yes, this is all for now. I hope this webinar was helpful and see you on our next webinar. Let me check. Do we have any questions? Okay. Okay. Still, this is going to be available after I finalize the webinar. So if you have any questions, just please type them in and I will be answering. Okay. Thank you very much.